Anyone have any other questions for me about anything? This is like a dry read, so you don't have to like completely act it out. This is kind of like for me to see stuff. All right, cool. Hi, Jack.
Hey, sorry about that. I just got home.
Okay. Sean, will you turn your camera back on? Sean,
No.
Sean.
come on, buddy. Okay, good. I was gonna say I will come downstairs if I have to, but okay. So I'm going to share my screen now with Thing. Can you guys all see that? All
Yep.
right, cool. So I have your names next to the part you will be playing. Does everyone kind of see who they are and what's going on with that?
Looks good.
All right, cool. Any?
Wait, am I only Nikki?
Yes.
Oh,
I
cool.
did some editing stuff.
Cool.
Okay. Whenever you guys are ready.
All right. Scene 1. Light enters the classroom through a wall of windows opposite the door leading to the main hallway and the rest of the school beyond. In the classroom, there are only female 2 students there, and the rest of the school seems to be quiet, as the time on the wall clock shows it's 3:30.
It's so stupid that we have to be here in detention when we really didn't do anything wrong.
Gracie, I know that you don't think we did anything wrong and it isn't our fault, and some of the guys in the school have a problem with me and my family, but that's just how it is, and we don't need to focus on that. What I need to think about right now is how to explain to Benton why I'm late.
Come on, it won't be that bad. I mean, he can't really get that mad at you for sticking up for yourself, or me for sticking up for my friend, when the teachers weren't doing anything to help us.
I don't think he would be mad or upset with you for anything really, for any reason really, Gracie. You're not the reason I'm in detention. I'm the reason you're in detention. And he isn't your brother, so him being upset with you won't be the same as him being upset with me. You're not the one that lives with him. I am.
Oh, I don't care about getting detention, and my mom won't be upset because they won't even know that I got in trouble unless the school calls her. I mean, they know that I always go to the bar with you after school to do work and stuff. So to them, I'm not late. And yeah, you live with him, but he scares me still, more than your other brothers.
Benton can be a little scary to be around, but that's mainly because of how he looks, his scar and height and stuff. I'm not glad you come. That I'm glad you come with me because I get work done and have good company with me while I finish it.
Yeah, I'm still confused as to why your brother is fine with me hanging out in the bar with you. I mean, neither of us are 21. I don't even know what he thinks of me. I know that there are a lot of people that don't really like me, and they think that because of how my dad left when I was young, I won't be a good influence.
Aspen turns even more in her chair and grabs one of Gracie's hands in both of hers, forcing Gracie to look up at her.
Gracie, I don't care about your family, and if it's normal or not, you and everyone else in the school knows that mine isn't the most normal either in any sense of the word. I mean, I was raised mostly by my 5 older brothers, and my parents died, so I really don't know what it's like to be part of a normal family at all. But that's what makes us closer. We both don't fit in completely with everyone else, and I know why Benton wouldn't like you, and and I don't know why Benton wouldn't like you, and it isn't a 21 only bar. Anyone can go there and eat, play pool, or socialize. But you don't need to be 21 to drink. But you need to be 21 to drink, sorry.
Oh yeah, right. I guess I know we are closer for sure, but like, how do you know that your brother doesn't hate me? He like never smiles at me, and he barely talks to me. It feels like he avoids me.
The classroom door opens and Mr. Shelby enters. Both girls stop talking as he moves towards the front of the class before leaning against a desk and stopping, turning to face the girls. They just sit there and watch him as an awkward silence settles over the room, and the sound of their soft breathing fills the room before Mr. Shelby clears his throat and breaks the silence.
Your time is done, so you may leave and do whatever it is you were planning. And please, ladies, don't be getting into fights in the future. If this continues to happen, we will have to get your parents involved, and I know that no one wants that to happen. It just makes things much more difficult.
We wouldn't be getting into fights if some asshole couldn't behave like a normal, socially acceptable person and leave us alone.
Shut up!
But it's true and you know it.
Ladies, please. I know that you do not think that this is your fault, and I know that it is not completely your fault, but just because someone says some rude things does not give you the right to kick them in the face. That is not the proper way to handle a situation like that.
But they deserved it.
Again, shut up!
Lights and sound indicate time is turning back, and the clock on the wall is turned back to 2:30 earlier that day. Aspen and Gracie are in the hallway at school and are getting books from their lockers, as other students are moving around the hallway, stopping at lockers or water fountains and going into classrooms. Both girls close their lockers and head towards their next class, nodding to people as they pass and chatting with each other. Before they reach their classroom, Axel comes out of a hallway and approaches the girls, stopping in front of them, blocking the way.
Where are you going, freaks?
Gracie and Aspen stop.
Just trying to get to class, Axel, not doing anything that should bother you unless you have an objection to us going to our US government class.
Do I have an objection to you freaks going to class?
Then I don't see a problem here, and we will be on our way.
Both girls try to move past them but are blocked by Axel.
But I do have a problem with you being in this school. Freaks like you with one parent, or poor little girls whose parents died and left them all alone with their older brothers, shouldn't be at this school. No one wants you here. No one wants to be your friend, and no one cares about you or what you're dealing with, except for other losers like you. And who would want to be your parents? Maybe they're glad they aren't around anymore to have to take care of you losers.
Gracie takes a step forward, standing up tall, but still a bit shorter than Axel.
What's your problem, man? Yeah, we don't have two parents and aren't like you with your rich mommy and daddy paying for fancy cars and clothes. But no matter the money they give you, you still can't buy friends, and you know no one will ever really like you, Mr. No Personality.
What'd you say, Shrimp?
Axel looks even angrier than before, and he moves closer to Gracie, looking down on her as she shrinks back before he shoves her, causing her to stumble and trip over her own feet.
Oh, what the hell, man?
Aspen shouts. Axel is smiling, but Aspen has stepped forward, squared her shoulders, planted her feet, then launched into a roundhouse kick that connects with Axel's face, knocking him over and to the ground.
Whoa, us Aspen, where the heck did you learn to do that?
Just come on, let's get to class.
Both girls hurry past Axel and make their way to class as all the other students in the hall move quickly out of their way, staring at them, then back to the boys. Aspen and Gracie have made it to their class and taken their seats, getting books and things out as the teacher comes in and begins the class. A few minutes into the class, a faculty member opens the door and looks around before speaking.
Apologies for the interruption, but I need Aspen Farland and Gracie Fay to gather their things and come to the office straight away.
As Gracie and Aspen gather their books and bags, the lights and sound indicate time is going forward again, and the clock goes back to showing 3:30, as Mr. Shelby claps his hand sharply twice and things are back in the present.
Ladies, please, both of you silent now.
Both girls stop glaring at each other and turn to face Mr. Shelby and look down slightly as his voice rises in order to get their attention.
We are sorry, Mr. Shelby. Just Axel's always bothering Gracie and me, and we are sick of it. No teacher has done anything to help us with what has been going on, so we've had to do what we could.
Well, yes, I understand. And while it is impressive that you were able to deliver a roundhouse kick to the face of a man at least a head taller than you, it still was not the appropriate reaction. So Aspen, please do not be kicking or punching anyone in the future unless you are defending yourself from a physical attack. If Axel continues to bother you, let me know. I promise I will do what I can.
Thank you, Mr. Shelby. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy your weekend too.
Yeah, get that me time in before you have to deal with all of this again for English on Monday.
They both pack up their bags and stand up, nodding to Mr. Shelby as they leave, and begin to walk through the school before stopping at some lockers. Each open one of the lockers and begin to exchange their textbooks and notebooks.
So with what you said, with you thanking my brother because he never seems to talk to you, he doesn't really smile and seems to avoid you. That's just how Benton is with basically everyone, Gracie. It has nothing to do with you in particular.
How can you be sure about that? He isn't like that with you or that Russian dude that owns the bar we always go to after school.
Aspen pauses, looks at some of her textbooks before closing her locker slightly to look at Gracie, who stops and looks to Aspen when it gets quiet.
Okay, first off, I'm Benton's little sister, so I think it makes sense that he acts different around me than he might around you or anyone else. After all, he's only known me my entire life and taken care of me like I was his daughter for the most of it.
Yeah, I know about that, but like, he has known me for longer than any of your other almost non-existent group of friends.
Hey, I have friends other than you.
Ignores the look Gracie gives her and laughs a little before continuing.
And as for the Russian guy, as you so elegantly put it, they've known each other for a long time and are also in a relationship together. So, also might explain why Benton might act differently towards Alexander than towards you or me.
Yeah, whatever you say, girl. You're the only nerd here who it only makes sense that you have to be right about this. With your extensive knowledge of human behavior, social interaction, how normal people talk and interact with each other. As Mr. Koval would say with much emotion, you are an expert, Miss Aspen. Yes.
Gracie laughs when Aspen playfully pushes her a little before they both close their lockers, taking care to lock them before putting their backpacks on and turning towards the main door and pausing for a moment to check shoes and backpack straps.
Yeah, whatever you say, Gracie. Don't forget you're a nerd too. Let's go. Benton will be worried about where we are, and I don't want him sending out a search party to rescue us from our precarious situation and whisk us off to the safety of the bar, never allowed to leave again.
Both girls laugh and make jokes as they walk through the empty school to the main doors. Scene 2. Gracie and Aspen enter through the front door of a bar and quickly make their way towards a table near the bar and a hallway leading to the back office. There are a few other people in the bar eating, drinking, playing pool, or socializing, with 2 men working behind the bar. They set their backpacks down and begin to pull out books and notebooks as Nikki turns and walks down a hall behind the bar leading to a back office.
Well, I just saw Nikki leaving the bar and going to the office, so that combined with the fact that I don't see Benton here means Nikki just went to tell him we are here now.
Well, I'm hoping that he isn't angry with me.
I've told you that he does like you, so just drop it, all right? I was hoping you could help me with that physics project that Miss Flanagan assigned for this week.
Yeah, of course I'll help you. Physics is fun, and I took Miss Flanagan's class last year, and it was difficult for me, but still pretty fun.
Yeah, she always has some fun projects and demonstrations, like how she had us learning about roller coasters and how they work, and how physics was applied in making them move up, down, and in a loop.
Yeah, that was always a fun one.
The girls start working on their assignments, and sometime later, Nikki returns from the back office and moves back behind the bar.
Do you want something to eat or drink? I don't know how often we eat here, but even if it isn't all-American food, it's still good. The pelmeni is always good. It's basically meat, onions, garlic, and salt wrapped inside homemade dough. Why are they like? They're like these tiny Russian meat dumplings, and I believe they use ground beef here for the meat.
That sounds good. Some to share would be good with some water. And while you're up, you might want to find your brother so you can explain why you were late today.
Yeah, whatever. I'll just tell him the truth. That's always the best thing to do for things like this. I'm also going to ask him why he didn't send out a search party for me. I mean, he has done it before, so it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Sure, just make sure you bring back some food, or at least have told me the little cute one behind the bar we want something.
Ooh, Gracie, little cute one behind the bar. Does my friend have a crush on Nikki?
Nervous and a little embarrassed.
It's well, I mean, yeah, maybe I do, so what?
Pokes Gracie, smiling widely. Sorry.
Oh, nothing.
All right, well, if it's nothing, go talk to your brother before he decides to come out here and make sure to get the food.
Aspen laughs and moves away from the table and heads to the bar, where she stops on one side and waits for Nikki's attention. Once he comes over to her and smiles brightly, she returns the smile and speaks.
Hey, Nikki, my friend and I would like some pelmeni and 2 waters. I'm going to the back to talk to Benton. Should I not go back there right now? Do you know?
Yes, this is a good time to go back, Miss Aspen. Your brother is waiting for you to go back to see him. Wanted to wait for when you were ready to talk to him.
All right, I'll go back there right now to talk with him.
I'll get the food started for you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Nikki smiles in response and nods while Aspen turns towards Gracie, who has been watching her, and gives a thumbs up before she heads towards the back office. Before she enters, she knocks at the door frame, causing both men to look up and smile, letting go of each other's hand. Alexander is sitting behind a wooden desk while Benton is sitting in a chair that has been set to the right of Alexander's chair. The chairs are fairly close to each other.
Penny, you're here.
Beantoon, stop calling me Penny, you doofus. You know I hate that.
Alexander smiles as he watches the two of them, but says nothing. Deciding to stay out of it as the siblings glare at each other for a few minutes before Benton shakes his head and nods at a chair which Aspen takes.
Sweet.
Thank you, Alexander.
Alexander nods as Aspen pops the sweet in her mouth, and Alexander turns slightly, holding out the dish towards Benton, who nods and takes one as well, smiling slightly. Alexander returns the dish to his desk, takes a sweet, then falls still, watching the two of them again.
Why were you late today? Truth, please.
It's not that big of a deal, Beantoon, really. A classmate was just being rude and I asked him to stop. He didn't, he got worse, and I ended up kicking him.
There is a moment of silence before Alexander bursts out laughing, shaking in his chair as he tries to stay upright. Benton is glaring at him, but he can't hide the slight smile that tugs at his lips, so he looks down to avoid eye contact.
Aspen, you can't go around kicking people who are messing with you, even if you think they deserve it. Don't you agree, Alexander?
Alexander struggles to stop his laughter and make himself look serious, while Aspen watches him smiling. Aspen's phone buzzes and she checks it quickly before sending off a text and looking back up to Alexander, who has gotten himself under more control.
Your brother is right. Violence is not the answer. It's not right to kick someone who not seriously physical threat to you. You hit him hard, yes?
Benton smacks Alexander on the back of the head as Aspen starts to snicker.
Alexander, not helping. Do not encourage her.
Why not? It good know how to fight, especially if woman. Then if man mess with them, they get bad surprise and learn not all woman easy target. Back home, my mom teach my sister fight from young age, just like she learned when she little.
This is not Russia, Sasha. She does not need to know how to fight. Punching or kicking someone is not acceptable response of a salute.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
If someone mess with her, I have some of my boys find them. They beat them up for Miss Aspen.
Benton turns to Alexander and tries to smack him again, but Alexander catches his hand and smirks, holding in laughter as Benton tries to look angry. Aspen has started laughing again. Before Benton tries to smack Alexander, and she shakes it in her chair as the two men stare at each other, one angry, the other smirking.
Sasha, you are not going to have your guys find someone and beat them up just because they were messing with my sister. She can handle herself without kicking or punching whoever it is.
Turns to Aspen.
Go back to the bar and work on your assignments. We will talk about this later with the rest of our brothers.
Aspen sighs but stands up and smiles at both men as she turns to head back to the bar, nodding and smiling to Nikki as she passes him before resuming her seat at the table where Gracie is still working.
So I'm guessing that all went well?
Well, yeah, it all went well for the most part. Benton wasn't happy to hear I got detention from kicking someone, and he was probably a little more annoyed since Alexander didn't really side with him, since he doesn't see anything wrong with a woman knowing how to defend herself.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wasn't Alexander the one that taught you to fight in the first place?
Yes, keep it down. Benton doesn't want to know about that.
Nikki approaches them carrying a plate and 2 glasses of water, setting them down on the table where there's space. Once everything is placed, he looks up at the girls and smiles shyly before turning quickly and heading back to the bar.
Wait, did you say anything to him about what I said? You better not have told him that I said he's cute.
No, don't worry. I didn't tell him anything.
Gracie stares at her suspiciously.
I'm serious, Gracie. I didn't say anything, and I won't.
The door opens, and Gracie instantly looks angry when she sees Axel enter, and seeing her look, Aspen turns slightly to see who it is and frowns. She turns back around and eats one of the pelmeni as Gracie continues to glare at Axel, who is finding a seat.
Stop staring at him like you want him to explode. Nikki will notice, and he will go get my brother, and I just don't want to have to deal with that right now.
Fine, but if he comes over here, I might just slap him for what he said earlier, for pushing me, and for making us get detention.
Just chill, try some food, and let's go back to doing homework.
As Gracie and Aspen work on their homework and eat, the focus is directed using lights to where Axel is sitting and staring at his phone. After a moment, his phone rings and he answers it.
Yes, Mother? No, I know that you expect me home soon. No, I'm not with Jax. I'm getting some food. Yes, I know having my car is a privilege that can be taken away. I already said I was sorry about my grades, and I did talk to my teachers about what I could do. I'm not lying, Mother. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to raise my voice. I'm sorry. Yes, I'll be home by 5:30.
The other end is hung up and Axel looks at his phone, rubbing his fist against his eyes and sniffing once.
Why can't they see that I'm trying? Why can't they care?
Lights and sound indicate time is going back. Everything settles and Axel is listening to his phone, standing leaning against a locker back in school as students are walking around the hall. Aspen and Gracie can be seen in the distance, heading towards him slowly.
I didn't tell you about the test grade because I didn't know. I wasn't keeping that from you. I know that it is a bad grade, and I'm sorry. I thought I knew it, but the test was harder than I thought. No, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you and that I didn't do well, but I can't go back and change it now. I'll talk to my teachers and see how I can get my grades up, since if I can't keep them up, I can't play in football games. I'm sorry. I know I can't get into college without football. You remind me of that every day. I will get my grades up so I can play. Is Dad there? Does he know about my grade? Please don't tell him that I failed the test and have bad grades in some of my classes. I swear I'll get them up. He doesn't have to know. But, yes, I understand.
The call ends and Axel puts his phone away and he looks angry. And when he looks up, he sees Gracie and Aspen walking in his direction, laughing and talking to each other. Looking angrier, Axel moves to block the girls' path.
Where are you going, freaks?
Lights and sound indicate time is going forward, then settles with all the characters in sitting in the bar in each of their own areas. After a moment, Axel stands up, looks over at the girls working at their table and starts to head over to them. Gracie sees him moving towards them and stands up, causing Aspen to turn and see Axel heading towards them. And she sighs, looks down, and shakes her head before slowly turning around to face him. Axel sees her shoulders fall and head shake, causing him to stop, stare at them for a moment before a sad, defeated look crosses his face and he turns around and heads out the door. The girls are confused at his behavior and turn back to face each other.
What the hell was that about?
I don't know, Gracie. I really don't know.
Thank you, everyone, for your assistance with that. Sorry about the random little typos. And Nick, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you ahead of time, bless you, Jack, that the character that you play speaks in broken English. I kind of forgot, and I'm sorry.
I thought I was just reading everything wrong at first.